everyone. Welcome to your darling program, The Voice of Eve. Today, we have the privilege to look at a very critical subject, human capital development for our nation. My name is Dr. Violeta Rene. Please stay tuned with us. We'll soon be back.
I think it's a most lucrative idea is that parents, or let me just say husband and wife, should build themselves financially, spiritually, and even educationally. Because so that the other party might not just feel that, my wife is going to university, while me, I just had a school cert. But if there's a mutual understanding, in the sense that, okay, I know that my wife will graduate, definitely if she's built up, she has a good job, I'm going to be trained too. So one day I'll be in a certain place that at least we'll both build ourselves together. It will reduce a lot of conflicts in the family.
They call us developing country. We accept it. But there's a challenge we also need to accept. Developing means we are challenged to continue learning, to continue grooming, to continue growing, to continue developing. And who will do this? Human beings. Human beings will grow fellow human beings. The challenge of developing, that nomenclature, developing, is human capital development, first and foremost, before technology, because human capital development drives technological development. How are we doing with focus on human capital development in our nation? We are privileged today to look at the matter because oftentimes we take so many things for granted. Many lapses in the nation really hack at the core issue of human capital development deficit or failure. And we have to pick up ourselves and correct ourselves. I have the privilege with me today to have someone in the studio who will deliberate on the topic with me. He is a very personable young man. We brought him up.
Yes, agree.
I don't know what to call you. You're versatile, you're an author, you're a publisher. Your books are wonderful. I must commend you.
Thank you.
He is a fantastic author, a publisher, a minister, a communication expert, a social commentator.
Thank you.
Dr. Victor Bisola.
Thank you very much.
You are very welcome.
I'm so excited to be here one more time after a long time.
After a long time. I'm so delighted you are back to the studio, this famous studio.
Thank you very much.
Yes. You are challenged here. You happen to be my scapegoat because I'm concerned about the issue of human capital development because it is the core, the engine of national development.
That's right.
You cannot say, oh, you don't have technology, you don't have infrastructure. We are the human beings. What are you doing about human beings? I think we have to place priority. We have to place priority on human capital development because it drives other developments. And how are we doing? Generally, before I start focusing on segments.
Okay, I would like to start by sharing a story.
Yes.
Of a pastor in Benin City.
Yes.
He wanted to upgrade his camera equipment in his church.
Yes.
So he flew to China and brought the latest kind of cameras and media equipment.
Yes.
But he forgot to upgrade the brain of the people that were operating it to the latest technology.
Yeah.
So when he brought those equipment and imported and set them up in the church, the camera people he had before reduced the equipment to their level and spoiled the equipment.
You can tell me that.
Now that means he invested money in building things.
Yes.
Without corresponding level of investment in the people that will manage the things.
Thank you very much.
That is to say, any kind of developmental framework that excludes the person that will run the system will eventually crash.
I could clap for you for that. It's like putting the cart before the horse.
Yes, ma'am.
You see?
It's a recipe for disaster.
It's a recipe for disaster.
Yes,
We've got to get it right. We do not obsess about human capital development today in our country as we obsess over infrastructure.
The truth is the government enjoys the fact that the people are at the level and state of mental development that they are. Because if you truly develop these people,
Yes.
the manifesto that they have been using for years will become useless.
Yes.
That is to say, nobody will depend on them for handouts. Nobody will depend on them for stomach infrastructure. Because if you invest in the mind of your people, they will be sound enough to hold you accountable to your manifesto.
Well, that's the bane of developing countries. Developing countries are merchants in poverty. Because poverty advances the politics of developing countries. Because poverty perpetuates power of the predators. It's like a parasite type of life that is invest. The oppressed sustain the oppressors because they take pittance from them to vote them back
To continue the oppression.
And they are used to poverty. They are used to being underdogs. They are like a people that have accepted a fate, a fatalism that is totally unacceptable. That is the bane of most developing countries. I don't know about others, but I see some people here quite unusually comfortable in being poor, remaining dependent on pittance.
Is a form of mental laziness.
I don't know.
It's a form of mental laziness that permeates through the entire soul of the being. What I mean is, you can never become anything worthwhile without hard work.
Thank you.
No matter the amount of fasting and prayer that you do, no matter the amount of seed that you sow, no matter the amount of tithe that you pay. In fact, if you pay your tithe and you are not hardworking, your life will be more tight than before you pay that tithe.
Yeah.
What I mean is, any kind of development that excludes the mental development of the person that will run the system will crash.
It will crash. So that takes us back to our challenge. Then, how do you see us really addressing the issue? Bill Gates came up with some very startling statistics, coupled with the reports of IMF too and some other researchers in the USA. And the unitary verdict is that poverty is coming to stay here in this part of the world. And by 2050, I reject it though, because I would want to see something better. Yes. But we cannot run away from reality that this axis to Congo, DR, who will be the capital of poverty in the world.
It's possible to
in the
change
next decade, but we can change it.
It's possible to
change
it.
And what did they say is the reason? The reason is lack of focus on human capital development. Because humans that have their capacity built, they are the ones to make the miracle of development.
Yes.
You cannot find it anywhere else. You can vote all the budgets for bridges, for mighty infrastructures. What are you doing with the human beings, as you said, that will drive the technological infrastructure or whatsoever you are dreaming about? It's better for us to get our priorities right. And I want you to let me know, from your own observation,
yes,
how do you see our school system, educational system, promoting human capital development?
I have said many times over and over that the problem that Nigerians have is not unemployment, is unemployability.
Unemployability. No. Let's digest that. The problem, many people will be interested in this statement, that we have is not unemployment,
it's unemployability.
But unemployability. Please explain further.
There are jobs at every level. Saying there's no job is a lie.
It's a lie.
There are vacancies every day at every level. The only problem is when you are trying to assess a vacancy that is higher than your mental capacity, you will assume there's no job.
That's it.
But at every level of development, people are still looking for qualified employees.
I'm an employer. I agree with you. That we have vacancies in the office here. I'm looking for the right people.
So the vacancy is vacant.
The vacancy is the vacancies are vacant.
But mommy, do you know that the day the right person will walk in, you will be forced to create a position that is not existing just to accommodate that level of skill?
You can tell me that.
Why? Because the truth is, everyone is looking for a value added staff. VAS. Someone that comes into an organization with value.
You can tell me that.
See, salary is a low form of measuring your worth.
Yes.
Salary is a low form of measuring your true value.
Yes.
If you want to be promoted beyond your current level of pay, you can decide it.
Tell me that. I'm a desirous employer. It's very difficult to find staffers this day that can conform to the description.
It's because of the system they came out of. The system came out of does not want to go through process.
Which system are you talking about?
The educational system.
Educational system, yes.
The system of Nigeria does not celebrate process. We celebrate finished product.
Thank you. I think I can jump in there. Finished product certificate.
Certificate, irrespective of how you got it, irrespective of where you got it, whether you went to school or you did not go to school, whether why gave you the certificate or they brought it later when you were already 72. Whichever way, people no longer celebrate. No, we need to say these things. People no longer celebrate process. Nobody asks you what do you do for a living anymore. He has blown. Everybody want to blow. We are not suicide bombers. It's not compulsory that we must blow.
Yeah.
If you can follow the pathway of hard work, of honesty,
yes,
of sincerity, of integrity. Many people think that money is the only capital for starting a business. No. Trust is a major capital.
I could shake hands with you.
You can.
I can. Without trust, any business is dead.
It will fail.
Without trust, any nation is dead.
You can.
Any leadership is dead.
You can fool people once.
Yes.
You can't fool them all of the time.
Thank you very much.
If integrity is lacking,
integrity is lacking. What you are saying is the process must be attended to build in character of trust, of credibility, of industry, of honesty, of accountability, of desire to merit what you have.
Yes. Someone said something. He said, if I can trust you, I can import goods and give you to sell and sell on return.
Huh.
That means if a young man shows himself worthy,
yes,
he can get access to what other people struggle to get just by the fact that someone says, I can trust him.
Thank you. This is fantastic. And so we have to pay attention to the process. Who will pay attention to the process? That is the question. Is it the leadership? Is it parents? How do you see our families?
I don't have any business with leadership.
Okay.
Because quote me anywhere, no politician that got to that position is looking out for anybody. They are looking out for themselves.
Well, they will challenge you.
That's why they do all they can to retain their seat even after many years.
Okay.
Because it is about them. So leave government aside and focus on individuals. Because if you keep waiting for government, you will wait forever.
Okay. Very good. Tell me about families. How are they focusing this process? Human capital development, going through the process of sowing seed and reaping the harvest.
Now, parents must begin to intentionally, consciously go back to the basics of building a family. Like I said before, in Nigeria now, the way forward is backward. We must go back to those basics, those days. Which parent will give you money to register for special center? You must force these children to follow the right path.
You must force your children.
It may not be palatable at the beginning. They may not even understand why you are doing what you are doing, but later they will understand.
They will appreciate it.
And they will appreciate it.
And what about their own personal example? What about this corruption, bringing things to the house?
As parents, you can't force a child to learn what you are not doing.
Thank you.
You can't teach a child to speak the truth because children learn by observation.
Yes.
They will do what you are doing, not what you really say. If what you are asking them to do negates what you are doing, I tell you, they will never obey you.
Thank you.
They may obey you for a while to avoid the cane, but when they go out, they will do what... There are some children that became worse when they got that campus freedom.
Yes.
That means all the while at home, they were hypocrites.
Yes.
And the person that helped to breed that hypocrisy is the parent. Because you cannot tell me not to lie when a debtor came and you asked me to tell the landlord that my mommy is not at home.
Yes. And she's there.
And she's there.
Yeah.
Then the next day I lied to you that when they asked us to buy stone and cousin, stone 4,000, cousin 4,000, stone and cousin 8,000.
Yeah.
And you ask me not to lie. You don't have the integrity,
the moral authority.
Yes, to ask a child not to do what you secretly or openly do. Some of the things you think you are secretly doing, the children, they know.
Thank you. Immorality is learned at home.
I know a child that watched his first pornographic video that the father carelessly left behind somewhere in the house.
You see now.
So what right can that parent have to rebuke the child from doing some certain things?
That's it.
We as parents must ensure that our children begin to learn those. The truth is, what you don't teach them now, the society will teach them.
Thank you.
And the society will teach them their own version.
Their own version.
Those that want to stand the true test of time, they pay the price. Dangote said something the other day. Say it took me 30 years to get to where I am. Why do you think you will start overnight and get here?
Thank you. It's the process.
We must teach them the process.
Sowing and waiting for the harvest.
And mommy, do you know that any money that you did not go through the process to get will either destroy you,
yes,
or you will lose it?
You are perfectly right.
If it does not destroy you, because the level of fame that comes with some certain amount of money, if you don't have internal capacity to withstand the effect of that fame, if you don't have the internal capacity to withstand the fame that will come suddenly, it can destroy.
You need character to sustain, popularity.
Yes, ma'am.
Or fame.
Yes, ma'am.
You need character. If you shoot yourself up by
any other means, it will show.
It will show. You crash down.
Because a building will crack at the point of, how do engineers say this? A building will crash at the point of the weakest, where the materials were. Yes. So if you rise to the top, if you try to build a skyscraper on a foundation that can take a bungalow,
thank you, you will crash.
And the crash will be
and
very
that is
fatal.
what is happening.
Very
we need a lesson in human capital development to drive national development and to pay attention to segments in our society in critical areas where we must focus human development, capacity building. We need to.
Yes, ma'am.
This is not a question of politics.
No.
Human capital development in our nation, is above politics. Because we should know this. It's building the future. The future is above politics. We should know it.
And politics is not even a lifetime.
Lifetime
title.
We do not play politics with things that pertain to life and death in our nation and over our children and their future. We must learn that. Human capital development has been so neglected that our people, you're looking for their identity now. Some people are lost. They are existing. They have reduced to the level of just existing. Anything goes. That must be reversed if there's ever going to be development in this nation. And we can do it. At home, you just pointed out, at home, in the school, educationally, parentally, family-wise, in the society. Leadership should show good example. Everybody. We should go back to the basics. As you said, go backward and recall values. recall character building, recall it by force, as you say, by fire, or else we are building on sand.
Another thing I would like to add, Mama,
Yes,
is the fact that we should create a system such that any sudden wealth that you get must be explained.
Well,
how do I mean?
Who will do that? Explain to who?
It's possible.
Explain. Who will explain to who?
Mommy, if Nigerians really want to achieve one thing, only God can stop them. Nigerians are such that if we really decide to achieve something,
yes,
collectively, only God can stop us.
Well,
we have that.
We need
tenacity.
people like you, Victor. We need people like you to go and articulate these things. I think the talk is too much. Let us put things down on paper and begin to rally. NGOs should come on board for human capital development, issues, and really articulate issues and get somebody to pay attention. Let's start doing something.
To our young people, myself inclusive, we must begin to take responsibility for our personal development.
Very, very good. I think that would have been a huge omission if we finished this interview without sensitizing that. Personal development, self-improvement, attention, a desire to deserve something, a desire to be purposeful.
And Mommy, do you know that the moment you begin to develop yourself, people will begin to take notice?
Yes, to be purposeful, to aim at leaving a legacy, making a contribution, not just waiting like a praying mantis to pounce at your prey of a loot. Because short-term gain mentality has eaten up many youth.
It's destructive. Short-term,
instant gratification. I'm not waiting. Get quick mania. Carry drug, yahoo, or whatever cyber criminality is available to make it quickly. We've got to reverse that. We've got to pay, not just shouting about it. Nigerians are being caught there and there. Let's do something about it. Let's prevent more Nigerians from being caught abroad in yahoo. We can start. It means paying attention to the process. Human capital development deserves process. That is sowing the seed and expecting the harvest.
Through patience.
Walking through the process, not jumping it. Shortcut, sharp practice. These are all indicators of jumping process. We must stop it. And I will just end up now by asking you, how do you think that not paying attention to gender parity is retarding human capital development in our nation, and Africa in particular?
It's
gender parity. How is it affecting human capital development?
Like I've always said before, if you neglect any part of society in your attempt for development, you will miss the treasures embedded in that part of society.
Thank you.
Any man that neglects or refuses to take advantage of the wisdom of the wife will suffer. Why did I say that? If it does not work, try it the way your wife said it initially.
Thank you. And if you never consult your wife, you're heading to, I don't know.
You will always have problems.
You will have problems.
So
we have something to offer.
So why developing this particular agenda? We can develop the other agenda so that Nigeria becomes a bird that flies with two wings.
Not with one wing.
Not with one wing.
So all discriminations should be stopped.
All discrimination should be
Girls should be educated as well as boys. That is how to pay attention to human capital development. The talents of women, the talents of men will take us to our El Dorado. We must pay attention to the two sides. Women are not taking over from men, but women are going to ride side by side with men.
Yes.
That it will be a complementarity that will catapult this nation.
It was because Adam left Eve behind. That was why the serpent had opportunity to hold a discussion.
We men and women, husbands and wives, should collaborate. Women should not be neglected. Girls should not be neglected. Certainly, it's a travesty to do underage marriage. It's a violation and a sabotage.
It's inimical.
It's inimical. So we condemn it. In this topic, we are saying it must be stopped. those nefarious practices. Gender parity, equalization of opportunities is also part of it.
Yes.
Thank you very much. You are always so fantastic, Victor.
Thank you.
I want to shake hands with you.
Thank you.
You are such a pleasure to interview.
Thank you, ma. Thank you.
Well, viewers, here you hear it all and you've seen it all. It's just so fantastic, sensitizing this very hot topic, and I know you will join us and run with it. Thank you all for viewing and listening. I am Dr. Violeta Rene. See you next time.